died! What's up, my little potatoes? Welcome back to another Seduce Me 2 episode with our lovely Sam. I believe this will be the last episode for Sam. It should be, because this is where we're going to fight the Demon Lord, and that's pretty much the end of the game. At least that's how it was with Matthew. So I'm probably not going to continue the series after this. I've already done Matthew and Sam, and we're almost to like episode 20. That'll probably be where I stop, at least recording it wise. I'll probably play it on my own. But I think that's where we'll stop the series, the episodes, and if you guys want to see the other paths, you can get this game yourself. It's really not that expensive, and it's a really, really good game. Unless people really, really want me to play another path, this is probably where I'll stop it. So, let us continue and finish this series off once and for all. Let's go finish this. With that, Sam and I raced forward. The final battle had begun. At the gates, however, stood a figure that seemed to pose almost pridefully in our path. Sam and I stopped our run and took in who was standing in our way. For some reason, he seemed familiar. That's weird. This didn't happen on Matthew's route. Who's standing in our way? Who? Alex from the last game? What the fuck? I didn't expect to see him. That voice. My mind finally clicked, linking the voice to a memory I wish I had forgotten. However, it couldn't have been. No way. Okay, it looks a little different there. Sam began to growl almost animalistically as the figure stepped out of the shadows of the gate. His face was covered by a terrifying devil mask, but I recognized him despite the fact. His white hair, his red skin, there was no way it could have been.
Missed me, bitch?
Damn. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be honest, when I played the first game, I honestly wished there was a path for him, because it's like, I want to see what would happen on a path for him.
Malix.
At the sound of his name, Malix reached up and removed the mask from his face, revealing a large amount of scars and wounds that were hidden away. Despite this, there was also a smirk plastered from ear to ear across Malix's cheeks.
You're supposed to be dead!
Yeah, I thought you were dead.
You didn't think I actually died, did you?
We did.
Only pussy little boys like you can get taken out like that.
It's a lot of shit talk for someone who was fucked up by him. My heart froze at the fact that he was still alive. It couldn't have been. I had seen what had happened to him. He was supposed to be dead. Malix inhaled a deep breath and stretched out his arms, looking around with the largest grin on his face before turning to Sam.
Isn't this the most brutal war you've ever seen? Legions killing each other for no goddamn reason other than to rule this pathetic plane. It makes me want to make popcorn and watch the bloodshed.
Malix is so fucked up. Sam glared hard at Malix, taking a step towards him. Malix, however, cackled in response and locked eyes with the incubus.
Of course! I came here for a reason. I can't just sit on my ass and watch. Too bad, though. This is some great entertainment.
Alright, Malix, let's calm the fuck down.
Why are you here, asswipe? Got a real death wish this time?
Sam, you gotta save your energy for the real fight.
What makes you think you can kill me? Besides,
that's exactly what I just said.
Aren't you trying to save energy to fight your old man?
Malix stuffed his hands into his pockets and leaned back, puffing his chest out and flaunting the burnt insignia on his chest. The thing.
I got sent here by the head of hell himself, straight from the top. And I got the best seats in the house to the bloodiest war this plane has ever seen.
Sam chuckled, cracking his knuckles.
Funny! I thought Satan only gave a shit about devils who didn't get their faces beaten in. Seems like he's getting soft.
Sam is such a hard ass, like Jesus. Instantly, Malix's face shifted to an angry scowl, making the smirk on Sam's face widen.
Now that you're all hot and bothered, wanna tell me what you're up to before I send you back with your head up your ass?
Jesus Christ, Sam.
First, I'm gonna paint these gates with your blood. Then wait until this war is over before I annihilate every fucking demon left and make this world a part of hell, just like it was supposed to be.
Oh boy.
You're funny for a dead man.
Am I? You tried to kill me once before, dipshit. Look where that got you. Didn't work out so well, did it?
Malix stretched his neck to the side, making a loud, echoey crack sound reverberate through the air. I winced at the sound. I hate that. I hate when people crack their necks. I don't know why, but it just makes me fucking cringe so hard.
What makes this so funny is that it won't matter who wins this war in the end. Once it's over, I'll send for my boys and we'll fuck everyone up while they're celebrating. Ha! It'll be the bloodiest celebration this plane has ever seen!
Oh,
Then we'll seal this world and fuse it with hell, giving Satan a whole world full of demon soldiers and slaves at his disposal. The chaos of this world practically begged for a war to tear it apart. Now the abyssal planes will truly be a part of hell, like the fuckfaces of heaven intended.
I love how whenever there's a bad guy, they always go into great detail of what they plan to do, because otherwise you'd never know, because they never actually get to do it.
Not if I make sure you don't get the chance, fucker.
Malix cackled wildly, staring at Sam with a maddened expression. His eyes burned with insane bloodlust as he smirked and licked his teeth.
It's this world's destiny, shithead! Even humans know that demons belong in hell.
No, they don't. I felt myself become angry at Malix. Demons and devils were completely different, and demons, except for the demon lord, did not belong anywhere near hell.
Think about it, will ya? How many brainless humans think that demons come from hell? They put demons and devils together like they're no different from each other.
That's true. That's pretty true, actually.
It's inevitable. Every shit stain on this world is gonna bow down to the Lord of Hell, and we'll rip apart the gates of heaven together.
Sam stepped forward once more, cracking his knuckles at his sides.
I am so sick of hearing your voice, Malix. Let's just end this.
Oh, I almost forgot the best part.
Uh-oh. Malix locked eyes with me, suddenly making a violent tremor run down my spine. His gaze spoke nothing but sadistic intent, and his words made his stare much more terrifying.
Just because I can, after we're done taking over this world, I'm gonna take that human bitch and make her the fuck toy of Satan's army.
How come every time someone talks about doing anything with me, it's always being some fucking sex slave? Always. No one's like, you know, I'm just gonna fucking kill her, fuck her. It's always, I'm gonna become the sex toy. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, Sam's mad now. Instantly, Sam vanished and reappeared in front of Malix, swinging a punch at him. However, he only made contact with a vanishing afterimage. Before I could blink, Malix had disappeared and reappeared behind Sam, punching Sam's head and sending him flying towards the castle wall. Sam!
Payback time, fuckface!
Man, you're gonna waste all your energy! Malix flew at Sam's body like a bullet and began to slam his fist into him, the wall cracking, caving in around Sam's body. Help him? Yeah, you didn't train for nothing! Fucking do something! I wasn't gonna be helpless this time. Besides, I was confident that I was still protected by my grandfather's protection spell against hellborn magic. I quickly rushed forward and prepared an attack, but Malix quickly turned his eyes to me with a large smirk and swung his arm towards me, revealing a sharp red blade.
Die!
I didn't get a chance to blink before suddenly being ripped from life. Did I just fucking die? Darkness swelled come to me as the ruthless swing cut through my neck and ended me. How could this be? The last thing I heard was Sam screaming my name. I really just fucking died. First of all, why did I charge at him? I trained with, like, magic. Why didn't I attack him from a distance? What the fuck was that shit? Okay. Let's try that again, I guess. Let's just watch Sam get his ass kicked. Sit back and watch our boy fucking get beat down. Part of me knew better than to try. Malix probably had a weapon, and if I knew anything about Malix, he would use that against me without hesitation. I was out of energy to even defend myself from him, and I was sure that's what my grandfather's protection spell ran on. Oh yeah, I forgot I ran out of energy. I was confused. I was like, why the fuck didn't I just use magic? He wanted to beat Sam before trying to kill him. His pride was one downfall of his that I remembered very clearly. Malix continued to pound punch upon punch into Sam's body, making the body-shaped indentation, why can't I fucking read today, and the castle wall that much deeper. However, with a small flash of red light, heat suddenly began to erupt from the center.
Get off!
Oh boy. Malix was suddenly forced back from a bright energy pulse as Sam pushed himself out of the hole he was trapped in. Around his body were green flickering waves of energy, pulsating in time with Sam's breath. I stared in shock, watching smoke rise from the creases of Sam's mouth and his nostrils as he formed a large sword in his hands. Something in his eyes was burning, and he fueled it with rage.
Ooh, got some fire.
You got that dragon power, bitch! Malix raised the arm to his side, forming a large sword with a red blade, and a chain connected from the hilt to his belt.
Well, so do I.
Oh boy. Malix and Sam rushed at each other, slamming their swords into each other with reckless speed. I couldn't understand how Malix gained the ability to be as fast as Sam, but something about the devil was very different from the first and last time I had seen him. He was much more cocky, and there was some sort of strength within him that frightened me more than before. However, I felt that Sam still had the upper hand. There was no way he would let Malix win. Sam flipped over Malix and slashed his back, opening the fabric of his vest, but not deep enough to make contact with skin. Malix snarled and spun around, reinitiating their clash of swords.
What's wrong, pretty boy? You seem to be holding back!
Trying to hold his energy in, boy.
I don't need to waste energy killing you!
At last, the swords slammed against one another, a screech echoing through the air, both pushed against one another, snarling into each other's faces.
It's pointless, Incubus! This world is fucked!
Tell that to Satan when you die!
Sam suddenly lifted his foot up and jammed it into Malix's chest, kicking him back towards the castle wall. With a grunt and the crack of broken ribs reverberating through the air, Malix slid back and glared at Sam. However, the glare quickly died into a look of sadistic amusement as Malix rolled his shoulders and stood back up, as if he could just shrug off the injury. I know words. Around his body grew a bright orange and red flame, causing waves of heat to pulse through the air around us.
In a final showdown? You got it!
God, there's so much fighting going on! Sam, with a smirk of his own, stood tall with the fast-growing green and red aura surrounding his form. The faint outline of dragons danced within the tongues of the flames as Sam seemed to charge a powerful attack.
It's over, Malix.
I watched as they both charged up their final attacks and forced their palms out towards each other. Green and red orbs of light shot out from each of their hands and collided, followed by brilliant rays that pushed them forward and into each other. Who the fuck is messaging me right now? I'm busy! I had to shut my eyes, blocking the flash of light from blinding my vision before looking back up and seeing this bout with a gasp. The air around the orbs pulsed heavily, whipping in all directions and fueled by both the demon and the devil. The orbs ground into one another, lightning and fire bursting from the minuscule space between them. Both opponents had their eyes locked on each other as the earth around them bent and bowed away from the collision of their power. The green orb seemed to quake with the shadows of dragons at its center, pressing against the wall of the orb and forcing it forward against its obstacle. Still, they were somehow equally matched. How could this be?
Given your remaining energy, child, it is the only way to end.
Won't that fucking kill me? The voice of the dragon rang in my head and I stared at Sam. His face was tightened in pure anger and determination. He was giving as much as he could, but I knew he was holding back to save energy for his father. I took a breath and quickly rushed over to Sam, grabbing hold of his arm and feeling his body naturally pull energy from me.
What are you doing?
I'm giving him my energy! Ending this together! Sam stared at me, causing his orb to falter, but as I passed my energy onto him, Sam nodded and focused back on Malix, concentrating his orb forward with both his energy and mine. Malix would not win. I wouldn't let him. At last, the deadlock became pressed as Sam's orbs pushed Malix back, inch by inch, with each push getting stronger and faster. I could feel myself grow dizzy, but I didn't care. This was Malix's last stand.
What? No!
Goodbye, bitch! I glared hard at Malix as the clash between them became full of green energy, cutting through the devil's attack with ease. At last, the dragons reached their prey as the orb finally clashed into Malix's body, enveloping him in the lights.
No!
See ya. Sam and I held onto each other, letting go of the energy ray, and covered our eyes with Sam covering me with his arm. We dug our heels into the earth, struggling to stay in place as energy pushed us away from Malix. The gusts pressed and rushed against our bodies until at last the wind stopped. Sam and I slowly lifted our heads and looked over, wanting to see what had become of Malix. There was no trace of him. The spot where he stood was charred, and the smoke that rose from the ashes of the area danced in the air like rising dragons. We did it. We killed him at last. I crumbled to my knees, slamming my hands to the ground to keep myself upright as I panted. I was worn out. If I hadn't been out of energy before, I definitely was now. Sam quickly dropped down beside me, wrapping an arm around my shoulders and laying a careful hand on my arm.
Whoa! Are you okay?
Oh yeah, just near death. Fucking drained me empty. I nodded, obviously lying but I knew that we had more important things to worry about. Malix was gone, hopefully dead for real, and we were at the castle's gates, ready to charge in and fight the Demon Lord. As Sam and I looked up, we both locked our sights on a window exploding outward with a figure flying out of it. As the figure flapped their wings and steadied themselves, they swooped back inside. Diana! I gripped Sam's arm and lifted myself up, knowing that we had to get inside.
Good?
I'm good. I'm ready. Let's go. Sam nodded before taking my hand and rushing forward, speeding through the twists and turns of the castle towards a large archway leading up into the tower, where we could hear Diana and the Demon Lord fighting above. Sam and I raced up the stairs of the tower, hearing the echoed cries and clashes of steel bouncing off the stone walls. My heart began to race as the sound of weapons meeting stopped with Diana screaming, "Oh shit, oh shit." Diana!
Enough!
We're coming! Sam and I finally reached the top, staring wide-eyed at the sight of the Demon Lord and Diana. The Demon Lord had Diana's throat in a hard grip as his other hand gripped onto her wings, his fingers digging into them roughly. We could barely react as the Demon Lord ripped him off Diana's back by pulling Diana's body in the opposite direction. Oh my fuck. The Demon Lord, basking in his success, lifted the torn wings to his mouth and let the blood dribble from the open wounds into his tongue. I fought not to gag at the sight. Sam, however, shouted and made the room shake with his voice. His rage showed his feelings clearly despite seeing the one who fathered him after years of separation.
Hey, shithead!
Oh boy. The Demon Lord instantly peered over, locking his eyes onto Sam's form as Sam began to step forward. Appeased with the new challenger, the Demon Lord licked his lips and tossed Diana to the side. Diana landed with a hard thud and slid across the floor, slamming against one of the stone frames that kept the stained glass of the room together. On her back were 2 large open wounds that weren't healing or fading away into her body like I expected. Where's Sarah? Where is he at? Oh yeah, he was on the front lines. Diana!
Go check on her. This bastard is mine.
Alright, I got it. Sam continued to walk forward as I nodded and rushed over to Diana. She struggled to push herself up onto her hands, falling back onto the floor in failure as I approached. I gotcha. Hold on.
Saddle.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. Before my eyes, a small white light flashed beside us, revealing Sarah, who quickly looked around before he looked down at Diana and rushed to his knees beside her. Yeah, she's pretty fucked up, ma'am. I got onto my knees and helped Diana get up onto hers, seeing her worn and tired face. As she got up, she instantly fell to the side into Sarah's arms. Sarah quickly wrapped his arms around Diana and kissed her head, most likely trying to feed her energy to heal. Her back wounds, despite the energy, were still not closing. All across her body were slash marks and bruises from the intense struggle, but I knew already that she had put up a good fight. Now it was Sam's turn. The Demon Lord raised his arms to his side, visually challenging his new opponent with a wide smirk on his face and a scowl in his eyes.
So you want to die too? I always knew you were a disgrace.
Oh, man.
Long time to kick your ass.
Ugh, intense. Oh. Sam glared hard at the Demon Lord before reaching up and summoning his sword. As he did, flames began to quickly engulf his body, twisting and shaping into multiple dragons that brought surprise and fear into the Demon Lord's eyes. That's right!
We'll burn and fall into the darkest depths of the abyss looking the wall.
Fucking badass. The Demon Lord, however, snarled and summoned his own blade, ready for battle. There was no more room to place threats. Their blades would speak for them now. Sam and the Demon Lord rushed at each other, arcing their blades at each other and slamming their swords together. As they clashed, red lightning and wildfire shot out from the impact between them. This did not deter Sam and the Demon Lord from slashing and swinging again at each other, parrying over and over with murderous vigor. It was like watching fireworks go off in a massive storm. The flames around Sam began to circle around him and the Demon Lord, forming an inescapable ring around them. This was going to be a battle to the death, by flame or by the sword. Neither opponent seemed to hold anything back.
How? How did you get this power?
The dragons, bitches!
Doesn't matter how! You need to know that I'm gonna use it to kill you!
The Demon Lord grabbed hold of Sam's sword and kicked Sam's hand to make him release it. However, as the sword left Sam's hand, it vanished and reappeared in Sam's grip as if it belonged there. Using the opportunity, Sam slashed at the Demon Lord and carved a deep line into the Demon Lord's chest. What kind of fucking yell was that? That's what that sounded like. The Demon Lord stepped back, gripping his chest, as before my eyes, the skin around the wound began to burn and release black smoke. The Demon Lord snarled in reply, swinging his sword again at Sam.
You're dead!
The Demon Lord pummeled a barrage of slashes and swipes at Sam with his sword, only to be blocked and parried each time. I felt a hopeful smile grow on my face. We were going to win. The strange excitement of the situation filled my body with joy. I was going to go home and be with my family and friends and live in the human world. Sam and I were going to live happily ever after, and this was the door to get us there. We're gonna go home. Sam and the Demon Lord jumped away from each other, glaring hard at one another as they began to circle each other.
Weak brat. Needing the power of a dragon to defeat me?
You just sound a little pissy.
You don't fucking get it, do you? I don't just have the power of a dragon.
My eyes couldn't believe what I was seeing. A pair of wings wreathed in flame suddenly erupted from Sam's back, lifting him into the air. Sam's voice boomed through the air, filled with magic, rage, and power.
I am a dragon!
He is a dragon? Whoa, I'm a little confused right now. Sam raised the sword, causing it to become engulfed by red and green flame before swinging it down onto the Demon Lord. As it clashed with the Demon Lord's sword, a burst of flame erupted from between the blades. There's that fucking weird-ass yell again. Each block the Demon Lord had caused another and another burst to explode in his sight. Sparks and flame licked violently against his skin as he tried to defend himself from the dragon that was Sam. Soon enough, even the Demon Lord couldn't defend anymore. Sam knocked the Demon Lord's sword away, causing it to slide against the floor outside of the ring of fire.
Now! It's over!
Oh boy. Sam swooped at the Demon Lord and jammed his blade into the Demon Lord's chest, making his resounding gasp of pain echo through the flames. The Demon Lord's eyes wavered, staring at the far wall as the flames around them began to die out. Black and red smoke rose from the blade, dancing around the Demon Lord's body and dissipating into the air above.
Goodbye, old man.
That's it. That's game over. Sam gripped his sword with both hands and yanked the sword out from his father's body, making the Demon Lord arc back before falling forward. Smoke continued to rise and engulf the Demon Lord's body, as if it was beginning to cremate itself after death. As the Demon Lord let out his last breath, silence at last engulfed the room, only interrupted by the sound of Sam's laboring breath. I could feel tears well up in my eyes as the situation sank into my body, causing me to place my hands on the floor and stare into the dark marble. We did it. We really did it. I looked to Sam, seeing him land softly on the ground while his wings vanished into clouds of smoke. As he turned to me, I could see exhaustion hit his body like a tidal wave. One step towards me brought him crashing down to his knees. Sam! Before I could even stand to run to him, Sam lifted his hand, laughing tiredly.
I'm fine. Calm down.
I relaxed for the moment, relieved to know that he was all right. I felt myself let out a sigh as I heard Diana chuckle beside me.
He wore you out that fast? You're not as tough as you look, brute.
All right, Diana. You're it's no situation to be acting tough, you silly goose. Sam chuckled and raised a middle finger at Diana, curling his shoulders over himself as he tried to breathe and relax from the whole ordeal. I felt myself laugh as I took in the situation as well. The war was over. It was...
I won't be the only one
Oh, God.
who dies here.
His whispered voice barely reached my ears. It couldn't be. I looked over, horrified, as I saw the Demon Lord barely pushing up on his hands, glaring at me through the smoke surrounding him with crazed, almost psychotic eyes. As he suddenly pointed his hand at me, everyone else had only just turned around to see him.
Die!
Oh, please no. Oh, God. Within a mere breath of a second, a line of red lightning was fired straight at me from his outstretched hand. I didn't have time to react. I didn't have time to think. Time seemed to move in slow motion as the red bolt inched closer to my body, about to make impact with my sternum. Sam, despite his speed, wasn't fast enough to stop its journey towards my chest. I could see my life flash before my eyes. It was over.
No!
Oh, don't tell me one of them dies, because I'm going to be so fucking pissed. I worked so hard to have them love each other. I felt my body being pushed violently to the side, away from the incoming attack. I turned my head as I was pushed and stared wide-eyed at who was pushing me away. For the love of God, please. Great. With a crash, the window behind us shattered with Diana flying out of it. Goodbye, Diana. Fuck everything I've done this whole time. Diana, who had been beside me the entire fight, stared at the incoming attack as she took my place in its trajectory. There was no time to shout back. There wasn't any time to stop it from happening. I could only watch as the ray slammed against Diana's chest and forced her body backwards into the stained glass behind us. My gaze followed Diana's body, seeing her look to me with a sad, teary-eyed smile. There was no words that could be said as she flew into the air. There was no way to grab her and pull her back, and she had no fucking wings. All I could do was watch as Diana's body arced back and plummeted downwards towards the decaying sea below, where she probably would never be seen again. She no longer had her wings, so she couldn't fly to save herself.
Any creature unfortunate enough to fall into
Yeah,
that
I
cursed
remember.
stretch of water will be doomed to sink into an endless black void. They can never die due to the dark magic in the water, but they can never
I'm
come
pissed.
back up.
I'm fucking pissed.
There's no saving them.
No! I reached out despite the futility of it towards Diana and watched her sink through the air as gravity took hold.
Isaiah!
God, please don't make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. Please. At least in the last path I had the choice of possibly saving Diana. Please. Cero, face pale as snow, had projected his body towards her and had managed to wrap his arms around her form, causing her to cling to him. Both demons, however, plummeted down. Oh my God! Vanishing from sight. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I couldn't even see the splash their bodies made as they hit the water's surface. Oh, I mean, at least they're together, but that is so fucked up. Diana! I gripped the edge of the tower, not believing what I was seeing. This couldn't have been real. Diana and Sarah were gone, even as Sarah called her name, even as magic was on their side. How could they be gone? The garbled noise of the Demon Lord's throat Being impaled barely caused me to turn and see Sam ram his sword through his father's neck. At last, the demon lord fell, lifeless for sure. However, my vision became obscured by tears. I watched behind a veil of tears as Sam rushed over to me and wrapped his arms around me, pulling me close and laying my head on his shoulders.
Are you okay?
Not really, actually. I'm pretty fucking upset. I could barely even utter a no or shake my head. I buried my face into Sam's shoulder, gripping it to him at the sight of Diana falling burned itself into my memory. I felt something in my soul lift and disappear, but I couldn't have cared less. I heard the heavy sounds of footsteps rush towards us, but I didn't lift my head up.
Sam!
Wait, where's...
Fucking gone.
Diana and Sarah were gone.
Gone?
They fell into the sea.
I felt Sam nod, still hugging me tightly. He held my head close to him as he spoke for
Diana
us.
saved her from that bastard's last attack. The guard jumped after her.
It's so fucking sad. They loved each other. They just wanted to love each other. Sad silence engulfed the room. What could have been said? The Demon Lord was defeated, but the rebellion had lost its queen. For a moment, the world felt dark and cold, as if the war had been lost alongside Diana despite the rebellion obtaining victory. I gripped onto Sam, feeling deep sadness for the entire situation. Diana saved my life, sheltered me, and fell into a seemingly endless sea because of me. Sam, feeling my anguish, tightened his embrace around me and let me bury my face into his chest. The war had ended at last, but now we didn't know where to go. At least, that's what I thought. Sam gently loosened his embrace around me and looked to the remaining rebel demons with a hard gaze. I looked up, wiping my eyes in confusion. What was wrong now?
Will you all honor her words?
Her... words?
What?
Wait, she gave it to you?
Gave what? What? There was more? What did Sam mean? Oh yeah, she whispered something to him. If I'm correct, I didn't ever hear what it was. Faye looked to her companions as they stared at Sam in shock.
Well, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
We can't exactly refuse the Lord of Dragons.
I looked up at Sam, feeling completely lost. Sam looked down at me and helped me stand before releasing my body and stepping away from me. With a sigh, he looked down at the floor. Sam?
Diana made me promise something. If she died, then...
Sam looked to his brothers in nervousness. I looked over as well to see them confused but ushering him to continue before turning back to Sam and holding his hands. Then what?
If she died, then I'd step in for the rebellion and take the throne.
Does that mean we can't go back to the human worlds? I stared wide-eyed at Sam. What? Sam was now the leader of the rebellion? What of the others? I looked to the other rebel leaders to see them bow their heads to Sam, answering my mental question and causing me to look back at my fiancé. What about us? Would Sam leave me? Would he make me stay? Did that make me a queen? Did that mean I had to stay no matter what? We had to stay? What about the human world? Sam, most likely feeling my nervousness in my hands, grasped them and gently pulled me to him.
Look, I made a promise to her, but I'm yours first. If taking the throne means leaving you, then I'd rather burn it.
Ah, fuck, man. Alright, calm down, sugar tits. Sam. His eyes burned into my gaze, showing me his utter devotion. He was serious about needing to take it, but I knew that he would never leave me or force me away from him. Sam gently rubbed my hands with his thumbs, and stared down at them.
So, I'm leaving the choice up to you. The Demon Lord's dead, so...
Oh, boy.
we could go back and live normal lives and whatever in the human world.
Or we can stay and rule the demon world. Sam nodded, affirming my assumption. It was a lot to take in. I wasn't sure how to respond. The dream of me looking back to see my family and friends began to haunt me. If I stayed, I'd never be able to see them again. More than that, would the demon world even accept a human queen? Would I have to become a demon or something? Sam nodded as Shadow stepped up.
Naturally. Demons would never accept a human as
Oh
their
wow,
ruler.
this is getting intense.
Besides, while it is impossible for a demon to be separated from their magic and become human, the same isn't the case the other way around.
So I could become a demon. Fuck yeah, let's do that. That sounds badass. I'm ready. I mean, I'll miss my friends and shit, but who would pass up this chance? Come on, be honest with yourself.
Originally formed from a being who was once human before.
So I would be a succubus if I stayed, but I'd be ripping myself away from my family and my friends. Was it fair to them? Was it fair to me? What about my family and friends? Sam lowered his head as James stepped forward.
If you decide to stay, then we would be tasked with asking angels to remove any memories of you from the human world.
Damn. My heart dropped. My parents, my friends, anyone who knew me would forget? It would be for the best, but to think that I would no longer exist for them made my eyes water slightly. I wasn't sure what to say. I felt myself freeze in place, unsure whether to run back into the light of the human world or to stay in the dark of the demon world. I could feel the situation sink hard into my stomach, but I knew I had to make a choice. Thoughts of Diana pushing me away from the demon lord's final attack replayed in my head, reminding me that she gave her life for me when she was meant to take up the responsibility of having the world on her shoulders. Sam gripped my hands tightly, causing me to gaze up into his eyes.
I know this is a big decision.
Boy, it is.
But just know that whatever you choose, I'll be with you no matter what.
Oh boy. Either way, I'm losing something. If I stay here, I'm losing my family and friends. If I go there, I'm losing my friends here, obviously. I mean, some of them are my friends, I would like to think. I stared up at him, seeing an endless world of love buried within his emerald irises. He put me first no matter what, but what would I choose? My family and friends were important to me, but this world became important too. I closed my eyes, remembering my grandfather's words. You should do what makes you happy. I opened my eyes and smiled at Sam, my heart finally reaching a decision. I think I'm gonna stay in the demon world. Heck yeah, I would stay in the demon world. That would be amazing. Come on. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't have that many friends in real life. So maybe it's just me. I'd do it. This was Sam's home. This was the place Diana and the entire rebellion had fought to protect and save. My time here made this world precious to me, and I wanted to take care of it as Diana would have. Plus, yeah, Diana sacrificed her fucking goddamn life for me. I don't want to ruin that. My heart gave a gentle thump, letting me know that I had made the right decision. Sam smiled brightly and nodded. His brothers and their wives nodded, accepting my answer, but the rebel leaders lowered their heads in respect to me and Sam. I quickly turned to them and smiled, knowing that they needed to be there and help us rebuild the world we were left with. We hope all of you will help us rebuild this world. Diana would have wanted that. A lump in my throat almost blocked me from finishing that sentence. It was deeply painful to refer to Diana as dead, as she gave her life for me, but the world needed a leader, and it now had a strong group of people ready to lead it. The 4 rebel leaders looked at each other and nodded.
We will do our best. Thank you for trusting us.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do first? We could do all kinds of really amazing things, like rebuild the forests. No.
Okay, slow down. Slow down. We can do all of those things. Calm. Jeez.
Faye, quiet.
Oh, lighten up. The war is over. We have a reason to celebrate.
Let's start with celebrating first before we get to all the harsh stuff. I smiled, happy to know that the world was in good hands. However, Faye took a breath and looked at me with a small smile before forming a small lavender-colored lily in her hands.
Before we turn you into a demon, though, since Diana is...
Oh, she wanted to give me something?
She wanted to give you this.
Oh. I stared at the flower in surprise. What was it? I reached out and took it in my hands, practically feeling magic and energy run through it. It's lovely.
The flower of Lilith. But how can that be?
What does that mean?
They were said to have died out generations ago.
I continued to stare at the flower, entranced by its spell. It was such a gorgeous-looking flower, I could barely tear my eyes away.
Put it behind your ear. I think she said it was magical or something.
Oh boy, what's it gonna do? Oh. I tilted my head before nodding and lifting it to tuck it behind my ear. As it settled against my ear, I felt mist circle my head and form into a flower crown of lavender lilies that I could see in the reflection of the remains of the stained glass window. The way everyone looked at me made me feel like I was in my bridal wear already.
Whoa.
Amazing!
Is it really that amazing? I looked at Sam, seeing him grin from ear to ear at the sight of me. I blushed, feeling somehow timid with the flower crown on my head, but happy to know that it had rendered my husband speechless. However, as I lifted my hand to the flowers, feeling their soft petals, I could feel the world fade to a white color. Huh? From the direction of where Diana had fallen, a figure stepped towards me, bathed in light. I covered my eyes with my arm for a moment before seeing who it was. Diana? With a smile, Diana stepped in front of me and gently ran her hand along the crown over the petals of the flowers. I stared wide-eyed at Diana, unbelieving that I was seeing her.
I have to say, I'm shocked. But I'm very happy knowing my world is in good hands.
Okay. Diana. Diana chuckled, stopping me from whatever I was planning on saying before cupping my chin to make me gaze into her eyes.
Promise me that you will take care of the the king of the demon world. A king is no one without his queen. And in the demon world, the queen is the ultimate power.
I felt tears form and drip down my cheeks, but I nodded. Something in my heart lifted and I felt at ease with everything. I had made the right choice. With a smile, Diana tilted forward and kissed my forehead beneath the crown before stepping away.
May you be happy with your choice, dear. And thank you.
Diana slowly turned and began to walk away further into the light of the area. Sarah, who was also bathed in light, slowly appeared and waited for Diana with an arm out for her. At least they're together. I guess that's all I can hope for. Diana took his hand and smiled up at him before looking back to me, nodding and walking away. As they both vanished into the light, the world around me reappeared with everyone staring at me in shock.
Whoa, hey. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just hallucinating. What? Huh? I quickly looked at Sam before lifting my hand to my cheek, feeling the trails my rogue tears left behind over my skin. I wiped my eyes and cheeks before nodding, laughing softly. I'm fine, sorry. I smiled brightly, taking in a breath, and looked at Sam while taking his hands. Let's rebuild this world together. Together.
Well,
that's the end.
Did it! Congratulations!
Now we get to see this. What happens after, right?
The end of your story. I have to say, I am nevertheless.
That's great.
I'm glad. Oh, crap. I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah, okay.
That is so fantastic, though.
That's cool.
Anyways, huh?
Yes, I want to know what happened
after the war?
Yes.
After the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated.
Yes.
Word spread far and wide about the rebellion's success, and soon every kingdom in the abyssal plains had become united with the new authority.
This is already better than our last ending.
You would think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons, because of the tragedy of Diana and Sarah. You and Sam took up the throne of the entire
Is there no way to stop that from happening?
You were transformed into a succubus and ruled at Sam's side.
Why do you make that? Okay.
Many demons knew you were a human first, but didn't dare speak ill of you, since you were the
That's
queen
right. They better
and the
fuck
wife
off.
Of the fabled Lord of Dragons. Huh? You don't know the legend? When a demon has a pure heart, full of true strength and love, he will possess the power to conquer and consume the power of a dragon, making him the Lord of Dragons. Man,
I guess so.
You got lucky, huh? You're pretty much married to the strongest demon, not just in the demon world, but all 5 worlds. Anyways,
what would that make our baby?
You were able to bring the world together and bring about an everlasting peace, with the rebel leaders beside you to help you along the way. And I believe that is everything that happened since you rule the demon world now. How the demon world runs is entirely up to you. I'm sure Sam will happily walk along with you on your new adventure.
That's right. My choices. I'm gonna make this shit so cool.
After all, while demon marriage is entirely up to you, ruling an entire plane of existence is a whole new ballgame. But I'm sure you can handle it. Huh? How do I know? Well, I'm pretty confident that you'll rock the queen thing. Take a look for yourself.
Let me see. I'm excited. How am I as a demon succubus queen thing? To become a demon was an entirely new adventure for me, one I was very eager to go through. The ritual involved in turning me into a succubus involved candles and lilies and magic spinning through the air and threads of power. Being that I was seemingly endless cask of energy, going through with the ritual was surprisingly easy to do. I was allowed to keep my memories of the human world, but my skin became etched with dark lavender markings. What really surprised everyone were my horns. Instead of having one on each side of my head, I had 2, one each side curled around like ram horns, and the second pair producing up like mini bull horns. That's kind of weird. Apparently, it was the mark of a truly powerful demon. I was very proud of myself for the accomplishment regardless. The wedding was even stranger, however. There were so many things involved that I could barely wrap my head around it, but the one thing I was able to remember were orbs forming in front of our chest and an ethereal green and lavender light connecting both. Was this the binding of souls? From that day on, I could almost sense whatever emotion Sam's was feeling. I was able to find him anywhere and know that he was alright. I became a major asset as I became king and queen of the Abyssal Plains. It took me a long period to get used to the feeling of being royalty. I had responsibilities, duties as the matriarch of the entire world, and it frightened me beyond anything. However, the touch of Sam's hand in mine always managed to dissolve my fears. However, there was never a day that went by that I didn't think about what had happened before I became a demon. It was a heavy chapter of my life, one that tested the love between me and Sam. To think that I was married to the Lord of Dragons. Apparently, it was a very powerful title to own, and I happened to be in love with the man who carried it. A title like that, I was sure carried a large amount of responsibility. Still, I was confident that we would get through it and stay together no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, dragon, it didn't matter to us. We were unstoppable together. The memory of my own power tingled through me every time I grew confident, eagerly reminding me that I had strength of my own. I would never let anyone come between me and Sam ever again. The role of queen quickly became one of stress and moral questioning. There were always 10 or 20 issues every day to deal with, dozens more to look into, and hundreds more still simply to hear about. The guest room I was once human in became an escape from my duties. While the bed Sam and I shared in our master bedroom was obnoxiously large, I felt more comfortable in the peace of the smaller bed I had once claimed for a week. There were even times I would glamour myself human once more and simply sleep, since demons didn't sleep. I was constantly working, but it was nice on the rare occasion to shut my eyes and let myself become lost in a dream world once more. Sometimes Sam would join me. It was adorable remembering his sleeping face, a goofy grin, hair ruffled and wild, all in all peaceful. As much as we were perfectly fine being demons, it became a treat to indulge in the feeling of having human forms, especially not having horns to adjust for when laying down. Despite the danger of closing one's eyes in the demon world, I was confident that we were safe. I let the memories of my past flutter around in my mind as I lay in bed, slowly easing myself into the dream world and back into reality. When my eyes fluttered open, I could only smile at the sight beside me. Remaining in my human form just a while longer, I slowly sat up and stared at the sleeping Lord of Dragons, feeling waves of contentment and joy rush through me at the sight. As my eyes traveled up, I took notice of the lily on the nightstand. It was Diana's lily, and it was the only fresh decoration in the room. In remembrance of the past, it was in a beautiful vase created by a demon craftsman, decorated the nightstand perfectly. Because of its magical nature, it was still alive and looked as freshly bloomed as the day I received it. Despite it being a bittersweet day, Sam and I cherished the lily and cared for it a lot. It was a physical memory of a strong chapter in my life, and I felt blessed to have it still. I let out another sigh before gently nudging Sam. Sam, it's almost noon. Come on. When Sam didn't move, I simply chuckled. He was indeed a deep sleeper. I gently leaned in and kissed Sam's cheek, hoping to break the spell of sleep on him with true love's kiss. It's time to get up, Sam.
5 more minutes.
Come on, Lord of Dragons. Oh, you're so cute. Hey. I could only laugh before crawling further onto the couch. I thought it was a bed. And sitting beside him. While breakfast was waiting, Sam deserved to sleep a bit longer. He had been working hard as the king, so it was no surprise to see him struggle to get up. I rustled Sam's hair a bit, making him groan and push my hand off tiredly, only spurring me to laugh harder. As I did, Sam finally opened an eye and stared up at me, an exhausted glaze over his eye. I covered my mouth and giggled, a little apologetic for waking him up with my laughter. Sorry, I'll be quiet. Sam shook his head and yawned, stretching his arms up and shutting his eyes before opening them again and lazily looking up at me from his pillow.
Morning, doofus.
Morning! I think we may have overslept. Sam gave me a toothy grin before gently pulling me down to lay beside him. Whoa, Sam! I was silenced by Sam nuzzling my shoulder and pulling me close to cuddle against my body. My face began to feel warm and I felt his warmth around me.
We'll do our duties later. I want to stay here for a while.
This is so adorable. I took the moment in before nodding and wrapping my arms around him, nuzzling his chest. Sam smiled and kissed my head, relaxing to the embrace. It was perfect in my arms, and nothing could have been better than being in his arms. It was like laying in a paradise. Did you have a good sleep?
Mm-hmm. You?
I think so. Our words became simple, but our embrace only intensified our love for each other. The bed became like a cloud in the room, almost lost its shape in my eyes, as all I could focus on was Sam.
I love you.
I love you too, Sam.
I mean it. I love you and care about you so much.
Oh, it's so cute. I looked up at Sam, seeing the love he spoke of burn brightly in his eyes as he locked his gaze with mine. I felt my heart beating wildly in my chest before leaning up and nuzzling my forehead to his with a peaceful and happy smile. And I you, Amoris, more than anyone will ever know. I wonder what my demon name is. If I'm a demon now, does that mean I have a demon name? I don't know. There was nothing more that needed to be said. Our love was simple, but powerful enough to move continents. Our love may have seemed plain at a glance, but within our hearts burned the flames of our devotion and passion for one another. I couldn't stop my smile from growing before leaning in and kissing Sam lovingly, feeling him kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. No matter what, we would always find each other. We would always wind up back in each other's arms, and we could fly through every obstacle in our way on the wings of our love. And that was my perfectly ever after. Happily ever after. Happy. I'm happy. That's it. That's the end. So that's the end of Sam's route. We did Matthew and Sam, and that's it. And that's where we're gonna end the series. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave it a like. If you're not already, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright? Later, taters. So
My
cute.
love for you is there. I've wanted to retrieve it for you for the longest time, and now I finally have.
That's right, girl. Come on now. You know you can't stay mad at that.
I love you so much.
Oh, this is
You
adorable.
have given my life so much meaning, and I have sworn my life to protecting you. Isaiah, you are the most precious and the most beautiful woman to ever grace the 5 worlds. And being with you every day fills me with such joy.
It's gonna make me cry.